Tired of grinding quests and professions for gold in Wrath of the Lich King? What if you could easily earn 600 gold per hour with a simple no requirements method? In this video, we reveal the secret to AoE gold farming in Karazhan, a technique that's perfect for the upcoming Phase 3 expenses like epic gems, crusader orbs, BOEs, and GDKPs. Stay tuned as we dive into this lucrative strategy that's sure to transform your gold making game ahead of Trial of the Crusader. Alright, so today we're talking everything Karazhan gold farming. This is a method that you can do with pretty much any level 80 DPS character. The only differences will be how many packs you can pull at once and how much gold per hour you make. The best part about this is that you'll be generating tons of raw gold in the form of vendor items, cloth, and silver. Though enchanting is definitely a bonus if you do happen to have it. So with Wrath in full swing, you may have forgotten how to get to Karazhan. My favorite way to get to Karazhan is to take a portal to Orgrimmar. Then I take the Blasted Lands portal and I ride all the way up. Once you finally get to the door, if you don't have a key, you'll have to wait for someone else to open the door. I've put a macro on the screen that I press right before I enter the portal. This macro allows you to enter raids completely solo. The basics. I'm going to show you two different methods for Karazhan gold farming. I'm going to start on my boomkin where I can make about 600 gold per hour, and then later I'll show you a more advanced version using a paladin that can make around 700 gold per hour. The beauty of this gold farm is that you can really take this as relaxed as you want to, and with any DPS class. You can do each pull individually or combine them. You could do 5 lockouts an hour or just 1 or 2. It's really up to you. So starting our first lockout on my boomkin, I always like to rocket boot up the stairs. Though depending on how fast you kill the mobs, you might want to save your cooldowns. It's really all up to feel. So taking a look at the first main room, the amount of packs you pull will depend entirely on your class. For specs like my boomkin, the elite packs are really dangerous and they're going to require cooldowns. But meanwhile, the normal packs are just like the seals in Howling Fjord. They're just cannon fodder and free gold. While you farm the packs, you'll notice a ton of disenchantable items dropping. I'm just vendoring these with a scrap bot in between runs, but enchanting would definitely be worth it if you have it. Or a mammoth. I mean, a mammoth would be great too. As I'm dealing with each pack, I'm being really careful not to pull extra. I'm specifically trying to clear out a safe Starfall for the middle elite pack to get the Starfall on cooldown as quickly as possible. Basically, my main goal is to line up my cooldowns to blow up the elite packs in between the easier packs. Once the first room's clear, I move into Morose's room. I'm really careful not to pull any extra elites because the elites on the walls are way too strong and tanky. In Morose's room, I just pull each pack individually. Obviously, be careful not to actually pull Morose. There's no way you can solo him. After I clear his room, I just rocket boot back to head upstairs. Then I start working on the upper floor. Again, if you're not a very strong DPS class, you really don't want to pull multiple packs at once. I'm really careful to separate the elite packs and I use all my cooldowns on them. Once the upper floor is clear, I like to stealth past the ushers. If you're not a cool druid like me, you could just kill the ushers or invis pop past them. In the theater room itself, I actually like to clear the room in 2 pulls. It's just really hard to clear it all in 1 pull for a boomkin for whatever reason. So at this point, if you have a second account, you can just reset the instance and go again. Or in my case, I just run back out and jump off the balcony. I get approximately 80 to 110 gold per run, so that's about 500 gold per hour. But before you start thinking you got scammed in the video title, these runs only take about 10 minutes each. That frees up an extra 10 minutes per hour to do whatever gold farming method you want. In my case, I like to switch over to an alt account and start doing some flips. Alternatively, if you have a second account, you could just do another lockout. But if you really want to do extra lockouts, you'll definitely want to go on a paladin instead. Let's jump over to my paladin to really scale up our gold. If you have a big AoE farmer like a paladin, you can really combine the pulls together. You can kind of just pull the entire rooms all at once. But you can still take things slow if your gear isn't very good. On top of combining pulls, you can also add extra mobs if you want. This is really optional, and I kind of think it's overrated. If you really want to take things up a notch, consider this instead. Paladins can do the Karazhan run in less than 8 minutes, which means you can technically do 7.5 runs per hour. At 80 to 110 gold per run, that's easily 700 gold per hour. The secret trick here, of course, is to have a second account to bypass the lockout limit. But even if you don't have a second account, this is just a pretty awesome gold maker, right? Now I've got a really good way to make extra gold in between my GDKPs and investing. And now that we've both unlocked the best raw gold generator in the game, it's time for some passive gold making. Check out my passive gold maker video next to scale up your newfound Karazhan wealth without doing anything.